What up? What up? What up, Dragon Disciples? We're back. Man, busy weekend. A lot of
Yes,
shit
sir.
dropped. A lot of shit dropped. So we're here to go over all of it for you. Now, you may notice that there's once again only two of us today instead of the usual triumvirate. Our man VW's in the morning. It was a bad weekend for people in Dallas. If you're a Cowboys fan, Vita probably drank that whole bottle after last
Oh
night.
man, that cognac's gone. That was probably the best VSOP he's ever had last night.
Yeah, man. He's in mourning. He might be back next week. We'll see how long it'll take. Dak's out for 6 to 8 weeks, so we might not see him for 6 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, our resident Chiefs fan, you don't got to worry about any of that. He's here with us. We got Grey Worm back.
No. We're not Grey Worm.
Brian Hard versus Khaleesi.
Yeah. Hey.
And it's appropriate because we can be talking some House of Dragons. We also can be talking some Karate Kid. Yo, you're not going to have a podcast called Who's the Master? You know, not talk karate shit, all right? We'll be breaking out all of that today.
Cobra Kai, man. Cobra Kai, not Karate Kid. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. My bad.
Yeah.
Karate
Get
Kid
it right.
too.
Get it right, man. Show some respect, Ansel.
Yo, respect has been shown. I gotta kick it back to OG too. You know, Karate Kid started it all. You gotta give him some credit. Why you never getting credit where credit's due?
Well, I mean, I could argue that Rocky started it all, but that's neither here nor there.
All right. All right. So, E, which one do you want to start with? Cobra Kai, or do you want to start with House of Dragons?
Let's start with House of the Dragon, man. Let's take the dark subject and end it on a light note and do Cobra Kai second. So let's go ahead and take it with the Game of Thrones world. Westeros has recaptured our imagination, so let's go ahead and transfer there.
All right, man. We got House of Dragons, episode 6. This is 6 years now.
Episode 6? Episode 4.
Episode 4, but it's 6 years after.
Oh, okay. It's 4 years after. 4.
In the post video, they said 6 years.
Oh, I know that in the mention she said 4 years. Okay, so if they said 6 in the post, then you're right. But I know in the episode they actually said 4.
Yeah. So 6 years after the start of the show, man, time flies when you're in Westeros in this season of House of Dragons. Yeah. It ain't the same slow build that we had in Game of Thrones, but you know what? I'm digging it.
Yeah, and one thing that's real good about this show is how they're aging. They really show it to King Viserys, man, like his hair and how his health is just deteriorating. I think that they did a good job with that to kind of transfer the age because Rhaenyra, she kind of looks the same age, but I mean they've done some things. They let her curve show a little bit.
Yeah, King Viserys' hairline is losing steam like the Cowboy season. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
it's in deep decline.
Yeah, I experienced it, man, and it's not a good feeling, man. But I didn't have long blonde locks, so it's got to be especially hard for him.
Well, he gets to hide with a crown. You know what's up?
Yeah.
We should get you a crown, dog. Let's have you on these streams with a crown.
You definitely see the crown in my head. You know what I'm saying? I got that razor, get that first shave, get it going, boy. MJ got that MJ going.
All right, man. So we start out the first couple scenes. We start out with House of Dragons. We open it up and it looks like Rhaenyra, she's sitting there having to listen to some suitors. We all been there, right? Sitting on our throne as suitors come and make their cases. What did you think about this scene?
I thought the scene was interesting, man. One thing I like about it is how just like that actress, man, she's legit, bro. I don't care what anyone says.
Millie Alcott?
She's legit.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, Millie Alcott is
awesome.
Legit, dog. Yeah. She inhabits everything, but the thing that stood out the most to me in that scene is what they're walking away from that kid right there when he killed that dude.
Yes. I hope he comes
back. Yeah, I hope he comes back and he grows up with them. You know what I'm saying? That was an intro to his character because he had heart, man. You know what I'm saying? He came, he tried to holler. You know what I'm saying?
He was nervous, and then all of a sudden he pulled out that sword, and you're thinking, oh, this is Game of Thrones. We about to have another kid death. Game of Thrones will kill some kids.
Yeah, he got slapped to the ground.
But he sliced that dude up.
What, do we know who that guy was that he sliced up?
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if this kid grows up to be some sort of badass figure.
That's what I'm saying. Because it seems like they're not wasting any scenes or any characters on anyone. So it almost seems like he will be someone who comes back later on.
Yeah. And he seemed honorable, right? He was just going up there doing his duty. That's a big theme of the show. Kids doing the duty for their houses to try to protect the future of their houses, right?
Yeah, he put that work in, but I also liked how she was like, "And how did my great grandmother look like?" He was like, "Well, that was like 2 decades ago, or whatever, 2 centuries ago, whatever he said." She's like, "Yeah, it was." Everyone just laughed at that old dude, like, "You old cat, I ain't trying to marry you. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, you know what she did? She swiped left. She's
Yeah.
swiping hardcore.
On all
Get
of
out
them.
here with your old ass. Yo, Tinder would have saved this bitch some time. I'm just saying.
Well, those are the dudes that the dad hooked up, man. So it's a little different. I don't think that he would just let her get
Yeah.
on Tinder. You know what I'm saying? Those are suitors that he did.
That's Indian style. That's shoddy.com style. Your parents set you up with a profile and they're like, oh, we found you a good match, son. Bitch ain't got no teeth. But she's a doctor.
Hey, I doubt she'd be a doctor with no teeth, but I get what you're saying. Though. I feel you on that, though. I feel you
in
on
India, teeth come at a premium in India.
Oh, Lord, man. That's old school India. They're coming up, man.
No, that's for sure. Yeah. A billion people are about to get really mad at me, but they are coming up. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, all those billion people, I ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. Don't attack them, brother. It's your own people who doing this, man. So yeah.
Hey, man, they just go back and watch that whitewashing issue. How you're trying to give the roles away to white people.
Hey, I'm the one. Hey, he won't watch Tollywood movies, so half of India, 500 million. At least y'all can get.
I watch plenty of Tollywood movies. You didn't even know what Tollywood was a thing, man. All right, so we jump from there and we get our only dragon sighting, right? This was the only scene where we had the dragon where she's on the boat and she gets her tower gets buzzed by Damon.
By Damon Maverick. Yeah, and then she hits her head. I at first, a second, I thought she was really hurt, but I actually like how she got up and she still was just like, this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows her uncle. But, he hates them. You know what I'm saying? He just likes causing problems. He is an agent of chaos, literally.
Well, she is too, though, man. As we find out later in this episode, she embraces that chaos. She's
trapped in it. To me, I know a lot of people are going to take it like that, and maybe she does, and maybe the writers wrote her like that. But whenever I see someone who's always trapped behind walls and they get out of freedom and go a little. Think about it, man. How many girls did you know in college? You know what I'm saying? Who parents had them, you know what I'm saying, tied up, and they couldn't get out. In that first 3 months of college, they were living their life, man. That's how I look at it.
Brown girl I ever met in college, man.
Huh?
Every brown girl I ever met in college.
Every brown girl, every American girl. No segregation there. Everybody lost their minds. That's how it is. So it is what it is.
So scene after that, we get Damon bending the knee like Jon Snow.
Yeah. I like that, though. I like how they did that.
Yeah, but we would find out that maybe it's a little bit insincere later on. He came in there, he put up the act, he bent the knee, but he's still, like you said, that agent of chaos. He's still mischievous, and he still wants to get out of his brother's skin.
Yeah, I mean, he does, but I mean, I get under my brother's skins all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's just what brothers do. But let someone touch his brother and see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think he respects his brother. I think they've actually shown that when the wife died, and he was talking to the daughter in episode 1, and he was like, "Hey, he needs you right now." I think that he just doesn't like how his brother lets the wolves, around him, just play and pray. And he can see through that because he's so shady. He sees other shady people where the brother really tries to see the good in people.
It's that classic brother relationship, right? Where he's like, yo, bro, what is wrong with you, man? I could be doing so much better than you, I'd be having our family on lock. All these trifling fools would be beheaded under me. And the brother looks at the big brother looks at the little brother and is like, "What's wrong with you, man? Why you always fucking shit up?
Yeah.
Always causing problems.
I would be the little brother in that situation growing up. So I was always had drama.
Always getting drunk. Always getting hooked up with some
like
random whores.
But,
but that's typical. That's typical big brother little brother shit. Little brother spent his whole life looking up to the big brother, and then all of a sudden gets to the point where he's like, "Man, I love you. You're still my big bro, but I know I'm better than you."
Yeah.
And big bro looks at little bro is like, "You could be, but you keep fucking up."
That's Jake and Logan Paul, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
The blonde people where you got the one brother who obviously is the better fighter, but is just a moron. But they're both smart. You know what I mean, though. One's playing the game now. Logan Paul's playing the game, like, "Oh, Andrew Tate's so villainous," and the other brother's like, "Nah, man, that's how you talk to them hoes." You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing.
So after that, we jump to my favorite scene. I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite scene. So we go to the courtyard.
Yeah.
Right here we see Rhaenyra and Damon having their conversation in the courtyard. But why it's my favorite scene is right before that, Damon and King Viserys are reconciling, and they're having a conversation like brothers have. And the wife tries to chime in and say, "Hey, Damon, we got some new tapestries. You want to go see some of the new tapestries?" And And Viserys turns around and goes, "Yeah, Damon. Yeah, you want to go see
Yeah.
some of your tapestries? You want to
Hey,
go see the
but
tapestries? You want to go see the tapestries?" Oh, dude, I died when that happened.
yeah, no, it was funny that he did that, but you know what? She was just doing her wifely duties because the king, without them even saying it, was mad at his daughter, and she came up there trying to act like everything was all cool, like nothing happened, like she just didn't turn down, all the suitors
Yeah,
that happened and just try to talk to the thing, and the king's looking at her like, no, everything ain't sweet between us. These things ain't sweet right now. And the wife picked up on it, just wanted to have those two to have their time alone. But that was funny how he laughed, like he doesn't want to see any tapestries. And then she tried to join in too, like, well, I would love to see the tapestries. And he's like, look, man, I'm not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
don't want nothing to do with you right now. You go over there, go to your room. And
yeah.
that was funny how the brothers are. Out of all the people, Damon go see some
Yo,
tapestries.
I gotta say, they're doing a nice job with Allison because I thought in the previews we were just gonna see this as a trifling bitch, you know.
Good.
And she's not. She's got complex layers, and you really kind of feel for her character. She got put in a bad spot. She's trying to make the best of it. She still, at this point, wants to be friends with Rhaenyra. She's still looking out for her friend. We find out later when she has a conversation with her with a scene we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, man, she ain't the bad guy yet. We know she's probably going to wind up being the heavy, but when it happens, it's going to be, even though we expect it to happen, it's gonna be still kind of like a stab in the gut because you're right now you're getting feel for the character.
I mean, but together, and there's never really any bad guys within the world of George R. R. Martin. You know what I'm saying? She has her motivations. Everyone has their
Ramsey,
motivations. She got put in a bad situation. I mean, Ramsey, he was disowned
Joffrey,
and he just liked to see torture and stuff like that. Joffrey, look who his parents were. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, a lot of them are just products of their environment. I don't like Ramsey or Joffrey either. You know that too. But what I'm saying is like with her, she got put in a bad situation. She still wants to be friends with the girl. And even when the girl was talking to her, she was like, hey, they actually talked about, the moment. She was like, I don't want to just be locked in the hospital. I mean, locked in the castle and just breathe. And then she was just like, the face she made was like, well, that's what they got me doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the world we live in. But I think she respects Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra was cool with her before she was with the king. Rhaenyra showed love to her. You could tell, you know what I'm saying? It was a genuine friendship. But
yeah. Plus, she's looking at this like, listen, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to cost us our friendship. I got put in a bad spot. And at this point, she's a woman in the kingdom. She ain't got no say. She got to do what she got to do, right?
And she's a good actress too, man. And one thing I'm worried about, because I know that time jump's coming, man. Those older actresses got their work cut out for them, man.
Yeah.
Because these two young actresses have grown on me, especially Rhaenyra.
I know Olivia Cook's pretty good. I don't know the girl that's been playing Rhaenyra,
but Olivia Cook is playing Alicent.
Alicent, yeah.
Alicent, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We also had them reconcile in the courtyard scene.
Yeah.
The first time since she got married to her dad, they held hands. They did a little girl talk up, and it seemed like they were trying to make everything good between them. But it's Game of Thrones. It ain't gonna stay good. We all know it ain't gonna stay good.
Yeah.
What did you think about that moment between them?
I mean, that's what I was talking about. I thought it was a good moment, man. I think that Game of Thrones is playing with emotions. I think last episode they kind of leaned more towards the Rhaenyra side, like, hey, this is the good guy, this is who we're rooting for. And I think they did that on purpose. In this episode, they kind of brought balance to that to say, hey, this isn't a bad person. You know what I'm saying? She's just put in a bad situation. Now, I will say this. I've heard that in the books, they weren't friends like this. Like the Alicent girl, whatever character is, she's like 10, 15 years older than Rhaenyra, and she's like more cold-hearted. So I like that the show is doing this. But the genius about those books is that they're told from Maester's point of views, and they made a point within the books to say that these may not be the accurate, portrayals. Like there could be a lot of things that are wrong within this. So I do like that aspect of it.
History's written by the victors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In real world history, we don't. I mean, we think it's accurate, but we don't know. There's a lot of shit that could be inaccurate.
We know it's not accurate. I can tell you.
First Emperor of China is a great example. Go look at how he's depicted in the history books. He's a man that unified China, but then he died and his dynasty got overtaken, and history was not kind to him. Now they're going back and they're doing research and they're realizing, oh, this guy might have actually not been as bad as the texts say he was. He might have actually been pretty legit, but unfortunately for him.
Christopher Columbus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at one point in time, he was good to go, but then, when history, is written by, the people, colonizers, and now you look back at it like this dude was raping and killing everybody.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
So then we go to Rhaenyra's bedroom. She finds some clothes that look like commoner's clothes. They even got that commoner smell. And she sees a map, and it points her to a little area behind her bed. Man, when I was a kid, I fucking dreamed about having shit like this. Secret passage in the castle? Are you kidding me,
This
dog?
dude watching Silver Spoons and wishing he had the train that went through the house and stuff like that. But go ahead, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alfonso Ribeiro, first TV appearance was in that. Doing the Michael Jackson dance.
Yeah, that's his claim to fame.
All right, so that was some dope shit right there. That whole scene. My only complaint was I just watched it and I got some sunlight coming through, and it was really darkly lit, so it's kind of hard to make out what was going on. Probably the only complaint I have about the scene, but everything was on point. The music was on point. The atmosphere was on point. What did you think about the play?
The play was hilarious because I like how Damon just sat back and let her watch it. And when she tried to, what did she say? What did she yell out? Boo. She would yell out boo, or what did she say? What did she say? She said something. And he was like, look, man, they're just gestures. They don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say. We're in charge. You know what I'm saying? But she can't handle it. But I like their dynamic. I love their relationship until they went to the playhouse. You know what I'm saying? Or wherever it was, the pleasure house. So I was like, what is going on? Then I got a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's Game of Thrones. So speaking of music, I got the music kicking.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I'm so over Game of Thrones incest. It doesn't even faze me anymore, you know?
That one fazed me.
Yeah, they planted the seeds for that in episode 1 and in the courtyard scene, you know? They made it known that these two were probably going to be a pair. And then if you read any of the material from the book, you knew that this was coming as well. So it wasn't a shock.
I didn't know that. So and from what I hear, okay, so this may be, I don't know.
But there's rumors that they were romantically involved.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you knew that since Game of Thrones, it's probably gonna happen, right? Especially after that first scene where he puts the necklace on her.
I mean, but how stupid can you be to just do that out in the public in front of everyone? That's the part that disturbed me too, as well. It's like, what is going on here, man? Like, dude, you got to think. But I know he's just like, yo, I'm a dragon. People trip. I could come burn everyone up and stuff like that. Oh, which goes back to, the opening scene just made me think of something. That dude was like, I can protect you. That dude was like, she is a dragon. What does she need your protection for? So yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, but it's one of those things to where I was just disturbed, bro. I was disturbed.
Yeah. Well, after he got stabbed in the gut, he wished he would have had a dragon. Yeah. He got by a little kid.
Hey, little kid got hurt. Little kid got hurt. And then we segue to another little kid who's a snitch.
Yeah, but that's some homeless snitch that's being paid, you know. He says, from his perspective, he's from the bottoms, man. He's snitching on the aristocrats. He don't give a fuck about those people. They're not his people. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so, man.
Yeah, he's a rat. Yeah, I guess, but yeah, man. So that scene right there, going back to that scene, I watched the little featurette they had afterwards where they talked to the directors. First of all, it was a female director, so she kind of specifically said, hey, listen, I've always watched how male directors film these sex scenes from the point of a man, and I wanted to kind of be a little bit, she said, first of all, it was hard for me because those are the scenes I watched, grew up watching, so that's how I wanted to film the scene myself. Yeah. And she's like, I had to try to kind of switch around to put more of a female perspective in there, and apparently it was tougher even for her, you know?
I mean, I didn't see it from a female perspective. It looked like a regular, it looked like a regular sex scene. Sometimes like these directors just talk to talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there was nothing unique or from her point of view that we saw in that scene whatsoever.
Well, what was unique and what they talked about and what a lot of people, I didn't really understand why Damon stopped, why Damon didn't go through with it. I thought maybe he was having a guilty conscience. But in the featurette, they talk about how his whole goal, once again, to fuck with his brother was, I'm going to take this girl here. She's innocent. I'm going to make a move. She's going to be shot. And I guess he was going to be kind of into that. But much to his dismay, Rhaenyra's not shocked. She's excited by the whole thing. She's excited by the adventure. She gets into it. Yeah. And that's why he can't get it up. They made a point to say he's impotent because of that. Slams the wall, storms off, and leaves her there.
Yeah, and she did that because, like, in the beginning of that scene where she stole the food, he was like, you got to pay for stuff out here, and she ran off. You know, she has that wild and adventurous side to her. But, I mean, we were introduced to her flying on a dragon, so, of course, you know what I'm saying, she has that wild side to her, you know what I'm saying? It's not surprising. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's just reckless. She's flying dragons, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's a princess. Like, I besides her making out with her uncle, I don't see anything wrong with that. But, you know, the next scene, after that, I'm just like, this girl lost her mind.
Well, I mean, like, listen, man, it goes back to what you said. Talk about being reckless. Damon's reckless, right?
Oh,
He a rap snitch. He out here snitching on himself all the time. Like you said, doing stuff in public. We go episode 1.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna diss your brother's dead son like that in public and not know goes back?
I don't think he was dissing his dead son. I think he just said it.
King for a day?
Yeah, king for a day. I think he was just saying, hey, air for a day. He just said it, but it just, it just wasn't the right words, but it's just his personality. You know what I'm saying? I don't think because of that funeral scene, I don't think that he actually was happy that the kid died. You know what I'm saying? I think he felt bad for his brother.
I think he liked Rhaenyra's mom. The name is escaping me. And I think even when he talks about her now, he doesn't ever say anything bad about her. I think there's a scene right now where he said everybody loved your mom in this episode, right? So, yeah, I think he had respect for her, and I think that's what that funeral scene showed. But yeah, I mean, he brought Rhaenyra out there once again. There is obviously feelings that they're setting up, but he also brought her out there just to get back at his brother. Because remember, last episode he was pissed when his brother was going to send those troops.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he made it seem like this motherfucker's going to come in and take credit for my fucking war. Ain't no way, Holmes. I ain't going out like that.
Yeah, that was one of those. I don't need your help. I'm going to do what I got to do. And
so I think he was still pissed. He came back. I was like, all right. I'm gonna piss you off. I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna do it through your daughter because I know you love your daughter. So that's how I took that scene. We'll find out.
I mean, I took it as those two. Before you told me that right then and there, I just took it as those two are attracted to each other. They have a very distinct relationship that they like, and they like being around each other. And saying he offers her a glimpse of that adventurous life that's trapped inside of her, and she jumped on it, man. She jumped on it.
Yeah, man. That brothel was lit, huh?
That brothel was lit. Yeah, they were getting it in, weren't they?
Yeah.
But the fact that they just did it out in the open is just still my mind boggling. Now I can understand that she was drinking and stuff like that, but it was wild.
Well, like Aaron said, snitches be all over the place. And as soon as they leave the brothel, of course, Daemon doesn't go through with it. Rhaenyra runs off. Stitch goes to ride her out to his boss, Otto Hightower. And that's going to have some repercussions. But before we get to that, Rhaenyra is now sexually awakened. And she knows she got this Fabio-looking knight right outside her door. And she's like, damn, I didn't get none. But you know what?
Yeah.
But that's how they said it in the feature, right?
Oh, no, I know what you mean, yeah.
I got a knight. Who's got to do whatever I got to say? And who obviously is feeling me, so she just invites him in, takes off that armor. I was laughing when she's taking off that armor.
Yeah. That dude could have said no.
Hey, he didn't want to say no. But I don't even know if he could have, because he's her knight. But
no, he could have said no. He definitely could have said no.
He didn't want to either way. It's a moot point,
And I have a theory about how this is going to come back and haunt them, man. Because I think that he's going to get cool with the Alicent girl, and then he's going to tell her, and she's going to be like, "Wow, my dad got fired, all this other stuff. You may not have slept with Daemon, but you messed with this dude. You did do something." She technically didn't lie to her friend, but still, in all, there were it's a ripple effect, and I think that
she did say she was. She did say she was still chaste, I believe, was the way she put it. I may be wrong with that. And she swore on her mother's honor
that she didn't sleep with Daemon. Not that she was chaste.
I thought when I heard that, because I have to go back and rewatch that scene. I thought when I heard that, I was like, well, actually, you did straight up lie right there, because I thought she said that she was still chaste. But we can go back and look. Because, yeah, right, if she's talking about not sleeping with Daemon, technically she didn't lie, because she didn't sleep with Daemon. But, she's not being straight up either.
Yeah, but that night, man, you know what I'm saying? I just have, even though he's her guardian, she changed her life. I just can see how they're making that. How is it Alicent? How do you say that?
Alicent, yeah.
Yeah. So how they're making her? They're making her this kind of that feminine girl, and I can see him being like, oh, this is actually a good girl, and they start talking, and he rats her out, just on some traitor stuff that he didn't have to do, and it just sparks this whole. It ignites this whole thing because her dad's involved now in the ripple effect. So that's my theory when that happened, because I was like, there's got to be something more to this, after the conversation. Now I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Maybe he's her Dario or whatever, for Khaleesi, and he rides with her, through the rest of the series, where he's her secret lover, and some Jamie Lannister stuff happens to where they secretly have kids and stuff like that. I don't know, but I think that's going to come back and haunt her. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, what do you
That's
think,
my
Dragon
theory.
Disciples? Get up in those comments and let us know. Don't be just sitting here watching. Be commenting and let us know what you think, man. Hey, if you read the books, no spoilers though. That ain't right.
Am I far off though?
Well, I don't know about the specifics. I do know that there's going to be some repercussions to these relationships. But once again, man, like you said, we read the books, but they ain't always going by those books,
I hear they're changing a lot, man. I hear they're changing a lot from the books in that regard.
So yeah, we will see. We will see, but I think it's gonna go maybe kind of close to what you say. There's definitely some room for you to be right. Let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah, because I was just thinking the whole time, just like, if this is such a big deal and she did lose her virginity, which she obviously did, something else is going to happen with this. Now, it could be one of those things to where they keep on, having sex, and then someone walks in on them, and then they find out instead of him ratting her out. But I think something else is going to happen.
Yeah, it'll probably get exposed somehow, some way. It's Game of Thrones, man. Lies don't stay unexposed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I know is you're starting to ride kind of hard for Rhaenyra now. Are you making excuses for this girl? Is Grey Worm's allegiance changing from Daenerys to Rhaenyra? Have you already got a new Khaleesi, man?
No. I only ride with Daenerys, but I like this actress. And I told you I like the Alicent actress too, though. So It's not like I'm riding for one side more than the other. I just know that one's father is shadier than the other, so it kind of trickles down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's talk about the relationship between those two and that lie, because here we got them in front of that old tree with a face.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit of that conversation where Alicent comes up to her and is like, "Listen, bitch, what you doing?"
She should have asked her. She's like, "Did you smash?"
Cousin.
Yeah, uncle, bro, uncle,
whatever. It's incest, bitch.
Uncle's a lot worse than cousin. It's bad.
I like the way she put it. She goes, she said something about you Targaryens do have your weird tastes or whatever, your proclivities or whatever she said. Yeah. And she kind of like, she kind of jabbed it in there a little bit. I'm gonna take shots.
Yeah.
But from her perspective, she's like, "Listen, home, we've been trying to help you out. Your dad tried to arrange a marriage for you. I worked hard on that shit too. And you just be out here doing whatever you want to, acting wild, not even caring about your reputation, not even caring how it makes your old man look. How it makes you look. You're supposed to be the heir. You're out here going to whorehouses. What you doing?" And Rhaenyra, that's the first time we see her get kind of shook.
Yeah, she was definitely shook. And honestly, when she was lying, like, it was like the most unconvincing. I was like, she just sounds like she's lying. Yeah. But since we knew she was lying, it's the same way. But even if we didn't know she was lying, she just sounded like she was lying, But at the same time, she pulled that trump card. Oh, so who told him? Oh, yeah. It's hearsay? So you're not going to believe me? What? You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things that kind of made me laugh as soon as she found out that they didn't have an exact name for it. But it is what it is.
She's sharp too, and we find out later. As soon as she's able to figure out immediately what happens. She's able to piece it together, and she calls out her old man. Now we get a little bit better of Viserys in this than I think we have in the past.
Yeah, Viserys is a lot smarter than he's let people let him be on to. But you know what? No, you know what? I actually take that back. So I'll say this: that scene that we're talking about, we skipped the scene. So old girl Alicent's chilling in her bed. The maid comes in like, "Hey, Viserys needs to see you." She's like, "It's late." She's like, "Hey, it is what it is. He's the king." And then when he's in there, they have that little sex scene, and you can tell she's not into it, and you can tell she's just thinking like, "This is ridiculous." But he's like, "This is a queen's duties." But he could tell. And I think in that moment he could tell like she's not really into this, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not love that she's doing this as duty, which is a little bit different. And I think he picked up on that during that scene. I think that's very important moving forward in this episode. Personally.
Yeah, I don't even know if he loves her though, because he still talks like he's in love with his ex-wife. The way he's
but when he talked to her dad, he talked about that. He was like, "Yo, your daughter walked me through that fire." You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a dark time, and she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly how to hold my hand and walk me through it. And how would she know to do that if she wasn't sent there to do it? You know what I'm saying? And he's just like,
yeah. So we did skip another important scene. We did skip the scene where Otto comes in and tells.
Yeah,
Otto the rat. Yeah. So Otto gets word from the rat, and he goes in and tells Viserys. I tell Aaron this: if you ain't watched any of the previous episodes, you would have had some sympathy from Otto in this moment, because the way they filmed it, when he goes up that door, he's got this look of regret, like, I can't believe I'm going to get this news to the king. It makes it seem very much like he's doing it all for the kingdom. Of course, we know Otto ain't that, right? We know Otto is shady as hell, shady AF, and so we know not to trust him. But he goes and he tells the king, and the king calls him out right away, because this is his, like, you know, Rhaenyra is known as the realm's delight. We hear that in the play, right? And so we do know that the dad does love her very dearly. And so as soon as Otto tries to use that ammo, the old man ain't gonna hear it. You played me a lot of different ways, but you ain't bringing her up to play me. You know? Yeah. And in fact, let's call a spade, son. This benefits you a little bit, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. Who do you want to be king? Do you want me to pick the king, or do you want to be Aegon? Are you trying to do something? What's up? Let's be real, you know.
And Viserys, Paddy Considine is such a good actor, man. Because one thing that he did, one thing that he established is he reminds me. It's kind of like Cersei, man. Cersei hated Tyrion, but she could never kill Tyrion. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as their family makes them mad, you know, they like each other. She was cool when Joffrey was about to die because she wanted blood for blood. But certain family members, he'll ride for his family no matter what. And as soon as that dude brought that up, that was it for him, man. He was like, look, you aren't going to sit here and bring my daughter up. That's my son. I know that. But he told her last episode, I promise you, I'm putting you on the throne. And he's not letting anyone change his mind about that. And I actually respect that, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows what he knows what he's delivering her to. He knows what he's walking her into. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, look, I told her that's how it's going to be, and you guys aren't going to take that from me. And you're not going to take it from her. And as soon as he brought that up, man, all that Otto friendship and all that, you know, that meekness that he showed throughout the past 3 episodes, and he's older and sicker now, and, you know, he just ain't having it, man. He just wasn't, he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it.
Right, so then we get that scene between Alicent and Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra lies to her friend. We start out the episode thinking that maybe that there's friendship's going to get mended, and now we already see where the holes are getting poked in, right? Yeah. Not even a whole episode. Women can't get along in the show. So we go from that scene and we go straight to the last scene here, where Viserys calls her daughter in, and she is scared. Man, for the first, this girl been putting on a brave front all the time, but for the first time, you can tell before she goes in that chamber, she's a little scared. She sees a dagger in the fire, pulls it out. Dad talks to her about the dagger. Of course, we know where that dagger winds up, in the gut of the Night King, courtesy of your girl, what's her face, whose name I can't remember. But anyway, Arya Stark. Thank you. She reads a prophecy that's hidden in the sword that you can only see when it's on fire, and it's you know, it's the prophecy of fire and ice.
Yeah. Supposedly Jon Snow.
Yeah, supposedly Jon Snow, even though he didn't do shit. He didn't do a goddamn thing. The prince who was promised and didn't deliver. That's who he was. So, all right, so, you know, he kind of leaves that in, and you think that, oh, maybe he's not going to lecture her. Well, no. He goes, bam, you know what? We need to have a talk. We both know what happened. And you got a duty, and you need to do that duty, and I ain't trying to hear it no more. You've been wilding a little too much. And she's like, all right, bet, you're right. I do have a duty to the kingdom, and I will do that duty. And that duty would be marrying Corlys' son and uniting the house.
And just to cut you off before we think, that was a very, you know what I'm saying, that was a chess move that he played, because remember, they told him that Corlys was trying to hook up with the people in Bravos, you know, marry his son out to somewhere over there, and, you know, with their dragons and stuff, and that's the, you know, they have the big bank and all that other stuff. So he was like, I'm killing that. You're marrying him. Yeah, you're marrying him. And we're getting it done. So he almost got very Tywin in this situation. But go ahead. Sorry.
He did. And she said, no, that's good. Thank you for bringing that up. So she said, okay, you're right. You are absolutely right. It is my duty, and I will perform my duty as needed to be performed. But then that's when we find out this chick's smart. She can see what's going on behind the scenes. So she goes, all right, I'll do it under one condition. We both know your hand is trifling.
Yeah.
You know it, and I know it. And if you want me to do my duty for the kingdom, then you need to do your duty for the kingdom, and you need to get rid of this hoe.
Yeah.
And he just kind of sits there and he's taken aback. And once again, she shows that she's a dragon, dog. This girl is a dragon.
Yeah.
You know, she's temperamental. She is prone to, you know, just do whatever she wants to at times. But when it comes time to get business handled, she handles business. She did it again. And man, the scene comes quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah's call.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You
No,
go ahead.
I was like, yeah. She saw her threat. She got rid of the threat.
Yeah.
Immediately. You know what I'm saying? She was sick of because she knew what happened from the jump. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have any say. She saw opening and said, "I'll do what I got to do," but you're getting rid of him. And go ahead. Yeah.
Did she get rid of it though? Because here I'm going to go into the last scene. And I'm going to talk about why I think it might be a bad move. Well, we know it's going to be a bad move. It's Game of Thrones. It's going to be a bad move. It's going to come back and bite her.
Is it? Go ahead.
So Viserys says, you know what, to himself? He says, yeah, she right. I know. I've been knowing this dude's been trifling for a long time, and I've been overlooking it because of his service to the kingdom. And that's what he does. He invites Otto in, and he gives the backstory of Otto. About how in 5 days, his dad was the original Hand of the King, died. In 5 days, Otto became the Hand of the King, and he's been living a good life since then. He served, I believe, this is now his third ruler, I think they established, that he served under, so he's been serving under the king for a long time. But then the king lays it out. He goes, man, it's pretty convenient. Your daughter shows up right when my wife dies, wearing her mother's dress. That's pretty convenient. She knew all the right things to say, like you said.
Yeah.
She knew all the right moves to make. That's pretty convenient, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And you got what you want. You got a grandkid. But now you're trying to undermine me and my daughter. Yeah. And now I got to look at facts as facts, son. The Hand of the King is supposed to serve the king.
Yeah, he overstepped his boundaries, man. He overstepped his boundaries. And the sad thing is, like you said, if you watch this episode not knowing all the other shady stuff, he really didn't overstep his boundaries. So he shouldn't have been spying on her. You know, his spies with that, but that's what he's supposed to do. He really didn't overstep his boundaries. He did what was right, but all the other stuff he did, it was just, accumulation of shadiness to where the king's like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my daughter we're dealing with. The fact that you have this information, someone's telling you this information, lets me know that people are talking about my daughter. And that's another thing we skipped over with the scene between Rhaenyra and Viserys when she was like, I didn't do it, it's the facts. He said, who cares about facts? Perception is all that matters in this situation. And that's the realest thing, people that I think people don't realize in the world. Perception is reality. And that's all that matters.
And she also called out the double standard. And he said, yeah, you're right, there's a double standard. It is what it is, Yeah. What you want me to say? It's there.
When he talked to Damon, he called it out. Damon said, hey, man, me and you, we used to go to these houses all the time and do anything. He's like, yeah, we're boys. She's a girl. He said it just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, what's your point, buddy? You don't have one, no matter what you think.
Right. So he calls out Otto and he strips him of the Hand of the King. Yeah. Right? Now, here's where I think that this might come back to bite him. Is we know that there's an old saying. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies what?
Closer.
Yep. And so it might have been a smart move for him to say, listen, I'm going to keep him close because I'm going to keep him in check. If I know what moves he's pulling, he's right next to me, I can keep him in check. Now, obviously, we know what happens. The War of the Dragons is going to happen. Spoiler for anybody that doesn't know what the premise of the show is, but pretty much everybody, I think, knows that's what it's leading to. So, obviously, this doesn't put him down because he's still going to make his moves to get his son, the grandson, named heir, right? And I almost wonder if we're going to find out that in the later episodes that, you know what, maybe if she kept him closer so she could check him, he would have been able to pull that off.
I don't think it matters, man. I think the king, as long as the king is alive, it won't matter. As soon as the king dies, you saw the play. So the common perception, like I said, is that a woman can't rule at that particular time. So most people are going to look at it in that regard. So it's an uphill battle for her either way it goes. That's why, Damon's like, give her to me. And we can make sure this whole thing, I'll make sure that this whole thing doesn't matter because honestly, the Westeros wasn't conquered by kind hearts, you know what I'm saying? It was because of the dragons. So we'll see what happens, and I have a feeling that we do a time jump, depending on when Viserys passes away, obviously those kids are going to have dragons by that point in time. I'm trying to figure out where the lines are being drawn at, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, what dragons are fighting anyone? Because we know Daemon and Corlys are real tight, and Daemon rides with Rhaenyra. So, it's going to have to be a time.
But kids are. I think Allison's kids are going to get dragons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's going to be later on. That's what I'm saying. Later on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down the road. We get that time jump. We get that massive time jump. So right. Yeah, man. It's a slow-paced episode, but. Damn, another good episode, man.
This is a great episode, man. I think that, like I said, the dialogue's not going to be George R.R. Martin because George R.R. Martin didn't write it. He had some of the best dialogue I've ever heard in my life. But the way that they're filming it and the material that he gave them with and the subtleties that they use within it. Like, for instance, like the scene, like I said, the scene where they were talking about the tapestries. They never came out and said, "Hey, I'm mad at you." He never said that to her, but you knew he was, and you knew she was worried about it. You know what I'm saying? And just like with Damon, when he was arguing with him, like, you're not a conqueror and stuff like that. But you get so much out of those scenes just with that simple stuff, just because the way that they're framing the situation. So they're doing a great job, man. You know what I'm saying? This show, it definitely got that glow on it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't even let me ask you what the rating was. You just jumped right to the glow.
I had to say, I said the show. I didn't say the episode. So, you know, that can change. I'm saying the show is a general.
All right, give me that rating for that episode, dog. What you got?
I give this episode a 9, man. I actually don't think that I've seen an episode that's been below a 9 yet, man. I'm taking away a lot from the episode. And the reason that I give it so high is different than everyone else. The fact that it got me back interested in Game of Thrones, and I'm looking forward to every Sunday, and I'm excited when I reach it, and I don't feel like I've been cheated at any point in these episodes. You know, I'm on it. So it's definitely got that glow. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 as well. You know, at first I was hesitant, but I'm going to say it's got that glow. The show overall has got that glow. And listen, it could still already turn, but now that we know it's also going to be a shorter show, only a couple seasons, you know, I feel like the chances of it turning for the worse are not going to be good.
How sad? Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Also, I'm gonna tell you mine.
I'm gonna make that prediction. This show will not turn for the worse. You heard it here first. Who's the master? I'm calling my shot like Babe Ruth.
How sad is it that we always can say, no matter how good the show is, it can go downhill at any moment. That's what they condition us for. But when I say don't say that, because we all know my famous line to Vince. Hey, no matter what they do, the one thing they can do is the last season. They can't mess this up. And boy, did they prove me wrong. So
it's gonna be hard with this because, like I said, it's only 2 seasons. We didn't even have the entire same cast, and so it's not gonna have that same fatigue that sets in with the creators, and they're not gonna be itching to jump on. Well, we did lose one creator already.
Yeah, Mitchell Sapachi. Yeah, Miguel Sapachi. Yeah, the director. He's good. He's a good visual director, but there's other good visual directors out there too as well. And the blueprint's already been laid. So I'm pretty sure that he probably wanted to go in one direction. They wanted to go into another direction, and you know he was okay with the final season of Game of Thrones. He was okay with the bells and all the other stuff when he directed with that. And I'm pretty sure, you know, for him being a perfectionist, you know, people didn't like The Long Night because it was too dark. I believe that I believe there was more than creative differences. I think he just was exhausted, man. I think he just had to work so hard on it to kind of redeem the show that he's just like, hey, I'll take my luck. Because you know they're going to give him executive producer role to give him a check for the rest of the show. He's going to get his little check and take it from there.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see the rest of the series play out. I'm excited to see. I mean, listen, at least we won't have to wait 10 years to see how this one wraps up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, watch it every Sunday or whatever. Yeah. You're bringing up bad memories, bro. Don't do that.
But that Jon Snow show will be coming out soon, so we're gonna have extra Game of Thrones property to talk about because we know we'll be reviewing that.
No.
Like this is Grey Room over. He killed Mike Lisi. I can't give him.
Yeah, man, that dude's dead to me.
We'll be reviewing it though. We need to review it.
We shall see. I don't know about that, you know, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, man, like I said, House of Dragon, man, it's a great show. You know what I want to do though, because we got all these incels online who hate women actresses, and I know after the first episode, I watched some of the reviews. I haven't watched them since then. They all are like, "Oh, I hate this Rhaenyra chick. She's entitled." I want to go back and watch all their reviews right now and see what they have to say about this girl's acting, because I know they can't hate on her. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to see them just swallow their pride, like, I guess she's okay. I don't think they can say that. I think they gotta admit, like, yo, she's a good actress, man. And I just want to see their hearts get ripped out when they have to finally give a woman props, because it's ridiculous right now, dog. It's ridiculous.
But here's the thing. I thought she was good from the jump.
Me and you both said that, but you know they didn't. Though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They didn't.
But here's the problem.
But now it's to the point to where she's added so many layers to this character, because she does a lot without talking, which is hard for actresses to do. Like, she has the cockiness and all that other stuff. But yeah, go ahead.
You know what? Remember I took you to watch Andrew's comedy show? He has that one joke about what does every male school shooter have in common? Lack of sex.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What does every YouTube incel have in common? That's why they always hate on these women, man.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, hating on women ain't gonna get you laid,
hey,
son.
The Little Mermaid, this is off the thing. Little Mermaid trailer dropped. I need to go watch some reactions so I can laugh. But let's get to the next one. Let's not get too off subject.
Listen, incels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I call them.
There's ways about you don't have to be a virgin, man. You can go find go to a bar and find some girl that looks like Teen Wolf.
Oh, good God. Dude.
And you know she ain't gonna have nobody after her, and you can get laid. And then you don't have to be angry at every female that gets a starring role in a movie.
This
all right?
is
And
America,
then we can all be in a better place in this world. I'm just saying.
This is America. Every woman has dudes that can get. That's the world we live in.
Listen, anybody can get laid. I mean, seriously, Fresh and Fit. If that secret got out, they would lose all their subscribers. You can get laid if that's all you care about. You know, you should. Hey, PSA though, we're not saying you should just go out and get laid. Who's the master? We're all about monogamous relationships on this podcast.
Hey, this is super subject, man. This is crossing the lines I don't want to get into. Oh Lord!
All right. So here's what we're gonna do, peeps. We're gonna take a really short 45-second break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some Cobra Kai. So until then, why don't you let my man Show Enough tell you what we're gonna do? All right, we're back.
Yes,
we're back
sir.
for episode, part 2 of this live stream. Yo, who's a master? We all know where that's from, right? Why don't you tell them where that's from, Aaron, in case people
The
don't
Last
know.
Dragon, baby. That Bruce Leroy. Show enough.
Show enough. I say who's the master. You say show enough. And what is who's the master, or what is The Last Dragon about?
It's about the glow, man. It's about Bruce Leroy in the mean streets of Brooklyn, martial artists.
Martial artists. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I know. I'm trying to get at.
It's about martial artists, right? And you know what? What is the movie that started the love of martial arts for most of us that grew up in the 80s?
I mean, for you, it probably was Karate Kid. For me, it was Enter the Dragon. You know what I'm saying?
This guy.
Hey, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying?
Whatever, man.
We
all grew up worshiping Bruce Lee. All right, we understand. Aaron's martial arts guy. We understand, but for most people, a lot of people, one of the movies that established their love in martial arts was the Karate Kid. And Aaron and I were working together when the trailer for Cobra Kai dropped. Back when it was on YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
And
YouTube Red,
yeah, YouTube Red. And I walked over to Aaron's desk. I was like, man, I'm gonna send you some shit. You gotta check this out. And we watched that trailer and we laughed our asses off. But fortunately, we hated our jobs and we could get away with watching TV. And so when that first season dropped on YouTube, we decided, what the hell? We'll check it out. And damn if it wasn't one of the best shows we ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's on Netflix. And what happened this weekend? Why don't you tell them?
Cobra Kai season 5 dropped. Definitely was ready for this, and I love the short turnaround because they filmed the 2 season 4 and season 5 back to back. So we were excited for that, and we went ahead and watched it. And since the episodes are typically 30 to 40 minutes, I watched the whole season. Honestly, I believe you watched the whole seson.
I did.
And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the review of the whole season, and just kind of take it from there with our thoughts and where we think this ranks in the world of Cobra Kai and the journey that they took us on and in regards to that. So just kick it off, man. What were your overall thoughts about Cobra Kai season 5?
Just a few words. Cobra Kai never dies,
Yes,
son.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Son,
sir.
the show never disappoints. Listen, it's not always fire. I think season 1 was by far some of the best writing I've ever seen because you managed to have a great season despite the fact that there's no real villain. It's all gray hats. There's no white hat or black hat, right? Everybody's got their moment in the sun. Everybody's got their moment looking like a chump and an asshole. Phenomenal. I don't know of many shows I've seen like that. You probably can think of some off the top of your head, but I can't. Season 2, they went a little bit more over the top, but you know what? You liked it.
Yeah.
Because the one thing season 1 didn't have is that over the top martial arts action. That's all we all kind of crave that stuff. Season
2 also had the best ending and cliffhanger in Cobra Kai history.
Yes, for sure.
Because when it went over the top, it took it to a level that we didn't think that it could ever go to. But
it also had some of the best comic relief. It's when we first fell in love with the boy Stingray.
Stingray.
And we all know a Stingray, right?
Yeah.
And I think you want to talk about another guy that we all know. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Season 3, kind of a letdown. Season 4 to me was it was the strongest season since season 1. Aaron, you liked season 2 over season 4, right?
Yeah, I like season 2 more than season 4. Season 4 is when I started to see a little tread on the tire, in my personal opinion. But what they were doing, what they were doing was, okay. So season 3, just to go back right there, had the best callback moment when it took that girl from Japan to save Danny's company. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew they're like, oh man, they're going real deep with the mythology and lore of the Karate Kid. But season 4, what they did, in my personal opinion, was they were resetting the table. And what I mean by that is, think about it like this: if Fast and Furious 4, the one where Vin Diesel came back, was the one that reset the table, and Fast and Furious 5 took the series off again, I would say that season 3 was when they reset the table. You have Fast 5, and then this episode is going to be Fast 6. You know what I'm saying? To where now it's even more outlandish and out of control. But since they've already exposed us to it, they can get away with stuff that they probably wouldn't have been able to get away with 2 seasons ago, in my personal opinion.
Okay, I see where you're going with that analogy. My one problem with it is Fast and Furious is trash.
Fast 5 is dope, bro.
Come on, man.
Fast 5 is dope.
This reminds me of when you took me to go watch. You dragged me to go watch Transformers last night.
No. Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to the people.
He basically threatened me to go watch that movie. He's like, man, what are you doing? This movie's all about special effects. What's wrong with you?
Hey, don't lie to the people.
And 15 minutes goes by in the movie, and he's looking at me, and he's apologizing. He's like, yo, man, I'm sorry. My bad.
Don't listen to this dude. Don't listen to this dude.
You know that happened.
Bachelor was the reason we went to that movie. Let's stop lying. Bachelor was the reason we went to that movie.
You lectured me like, this movie's about special effects. What's wrong with you, dog? I was like,
no, it is about special effects, but don't listen to him, you guys. Like I said, dude doesn't even watch Hollywood movies, so that says everything about him.
I do watch Hollywood movies, but
hey, so with that being said, Fast 5 is dope. But go ahead, go. All
right. So whatever. I like season 4 better because I think it was a little bit more of that the feel of season 1. We had the tournament. Now we did get where our first true black hat in the series is introduced, Terry Silver. But we started the show, and he's living a good life until Kreese comes back in it.
He was living a good life. He got peace for everything, and then you just see him slowly unravel, get dragged back into this world, and then it just got to the point where he's like, you know what, this is who I am. I can't pretend to be that other guy anymore. And I love Terry Silver in this season. He was you could tell he loved playing this role in this series. Yeah. Oh, he had a great time. And
he was given a lot of material, man.
Oh yeah.
He's a true chess master of this series. Nobody's one step ahead like Terry Silver's one step ahead, No
one in the show.
He's he's not quite David Xanatos level, but he's the closest thing Cobra Kai's got to David Xanatos. Xanatos always wins. Terry Silver doesn't always win.
Xanatos, you talking about from Gargoyles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he ain't messing with Xanatos, dog.
Yeah, Xanatos always wins. No matter what happens.
He's not messing with Xanatos, but I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
You think you won, but the reality is Xanatos won,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he's good.
He's a trip, man. Like that. And how do you want to move forward with this? Do we want to go kind of through like episodes 1 through 4, then break it up in sections because they're only 30 minutes, or do you just want to just give overall thoughts?
We can go. We'll try going episode by episode, but then if it evolves into
not episode by episode, just like chunks of episodes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do chunks of episodes.
All right, so Cobra Kai picks up, season 5 with Robbie and Johnny. They've kind of reconciled, and Johnny, lies to his son again, like, hey, let's take this trip to Mexico. It's gonna be awesome. But they're going to go visit Miguel, and I honestly do believe, and there's 2 people in this show that I think have a bright future in acting. Now, everyone's gonna think I'm gonna say Robbie. Robbie's a pretty boy. I think he's going to be typecast as just being a pretty boy.
Yeah.
I think Miguel has a specific future because Miguel has that innocence and he can play different emotions. And then the other person I'll tell you later on who I think it's going to be. It may shock you. But he takes him to Mexico to go find his dad. I thought it was pretty funny how he went there. The Australian dude takes his wallet and stuff like that. And, he's trying to find his pops. And then, he finds them. And then, it kind of goes from there. That storyline kind of hit a dead wall. What did you think about that whole
I didn't like the Mexico storyline, to be honest. I know why we had to have it, but it didn't have any long-term implications.
Yeah,
it
didn't.
So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of helped reset Miggy. I guess that's all it was for, right? Like, I went and saw my dad. Oh, I thought he was a good guy. Turns out he's not a good guy. Now to go back.
To me, it was a reel for him. It was a film reel for him specifically to try to see, you know what I'm saying, can he hold things on his own, how he's going to be on the screen by himself. That's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know something, because there's one thing Aaron does not like in movies. It's when his lead cries. If his lead actor cries, Aaron's out. It don't matter why you cry. Your mom could be shot on screen. No. You know, your whole family could get sliced up.
He's right. He's right to a degree. He's right to a degree. It depends. It depends on the context. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Miguel cries a couple times. Does this lessen your love for Miguel? Do you think he was a biatch?
No, Miguel's cool, man. You know, he cried. His reason for crying. You know, Robbie cried last season, and this season's the first season I really actually started liking Robbie. So, I mean, it just all depends on the context of the show. Let's get something straight. Cobra Kai is like the Saved by the Bell of karate movies. I know it's corny. I know that it's cheesy, but it's very addicting, and I like watching it over and over. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take it too seriously. But with that being said, I see what you're saying. But I think that, you know, like I said, the Mexico story was stupid. It wasn't stupid. It was entertaining, but it wasn't worth it. It was almost like filler. Yeah, it wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah, filler's a great way to put it.
And then back in the Valley, you have Chosen and Danny. Chosen, who's a standout. One of the standouts easily of this season. You know, he's infiltrating Cobra Kai because Terry Silver has, you know, unleashed his master plan. Where are the parents at in the show, bro? Where are the parents? You know, like I just gotta ask that question. But he's unleashing his master plan, and Chosen goes in there, and it's just funny, man. You know, it's just funny.
They did a little take on the Bruce Lee, Jet Li scene where the one martial artist squares off against many and works.
Fist of Legend.
Fist of Legend and the
it's Fist of Legend and it's Fist of Fury.
No,
Fist of Legend's.
Wait, somebody else did it though in that Ip Man.
Yeah,
Donnie Yen did Ip Man. Yeah,
no, Donnie Yen did it in Ip Man, but he also remade Fist of Legend too.
Yeah.
So Donnie Yen has this. I forgot what it's called, but so it's Fist of Fury for Bruce Lee, Fist of Legend for Jet Li, and then you could say Ip Man, but then he actually remade Fist of Legend officially. I forgot what it's called. It may be called Fist of Legend again too. So yeah, they did do that.
Now you can put Chosen in that pantheon as he beats the hell out of some dudes. We're skipping ahead a little bit. You know, Chosen tries.
That's in the first 3 episodes, though. That's in the first 3 episodes.
Chosen tries to infiltrate. Right, he's going to infiltrate. They're trying to play chess, but you trying to play chess with a master. You know, Clary sniffs that shit out so quick. Yeah, I did think that was a little cheesy when he was like, "Yeah, you cheers me." You said "kanpai" instead of whatever the cheers in Okinawa was.
It may be, but you know, people.
Yeah, how you gonna jump from that to be like, well, this guy's obviously chosen. You know, he cheers me.
He probably just did some research on him afterwards. I know you're not where you're from, and take it from there. But yeah. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the money to research that dude.
Yeah, I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking, right? Yeah. It didn't really take me out too much. It's something I kind of noticed, but like you said, I was like, well, it's Cobra Kai. And you just kind of roll with it, right?
Yeah. You got Sam, who's in depression because she got beat down.
Dude, I'm glad they redeemed her a little bit, because when she's on the phone with Miguel, when he's in Mexico and she's mad at Miguel for not supporting her to the tournament when he was going through some shit himself, which she's not completely wrong in that, but the way she came across, it was like, I hate this bitch. You know?
I mean, that's how it is, but to me, it's realistic, man.
It's realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic. Like, she just lost the biggest match of her life. You know, saying her dad had to close a dojo. She let everyone down. That's how she's looking at it. He's out looking for his dad, and you know, he's real. He's like, well, Sam, what did this come about you? And she's like, wait a second, you were in the crowd. It's teenage stupidity.
It's realistic, but yeah, you can still hate the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now they did end up redeeming it a little bit. They ended up, you know, kind of having her talk out and say, yeah, listen, I wasn't wrong, but then again, I wasn't right either. And Miguel says the same thing. Yeah, you know, same. We were both wrong and right. And they kind of end up hashing it out, but they go on a break.
And then you have Tori.
Huh? Tori, Tori's another standout. Now, you knew that they weren't going to have Tori stay bad, because Peyton List is probably the biggest name out of all these actors. You know?
Right now. I don't even know who she is. I just know she was a Disney star. That's all I know.
For right now, she's the biggest name. But, you know, when she showed up, I was like, well, she's probably officially going to turn. But they planted the seeds for it well, I think, in the last couple seasons. You know, season 3.
She was never really bad, though.
Yeah.
She was never really bad.
Yeah, she's just going through some things, you know?
Yeah, she had a rough life, and then, you know, one of the, like that scene where she had to, you know, dress up as Disney princess, and Sam comes in there and sees her, starts messing with her.
Yeah. I will say this: out of the protagonist, Sam's at
classic.
least likable.
Yeah. I like Tori more than I like Sam personally, man.
I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people don't like Sam, honestly.
Oh yeah, because because she's a princess in the show and stuff like that. But I think she's a good actress. She's lost some weight though. I can tell you that. Like I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? She's getting a little bit more in shape and taking us a little bit more seriously. I'm not judging weight women. I'm just saying that's what I noticed.
She is a diabetic, Mary Mouser. So.
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Hey, see? Hey, it's all good. You didn't have to say that, bro. You could have just let me find that on my own. It's all good.
Somebody's gonna call you out in the comments if we ever get any. So.
Yeah, so you got Sam. You got that going on with Sam. You know who our underrated star of the show is? Danny LaRusso's wife.
Oh
she's
yeah.
Man.
She's great.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch some scenes here as we talk about this. So she's a former soap actress, and that scene where they get in a fight, I was like, oh, this girl's going back to her soap opera roots. She's going back to the days of our lives. Yeah. As the world turns, she's about to yell at her husband.
Yeah. I like how Chosen's is sleeping on the couch. She's just like this dude here, man.
Oh yeah, he's swimming nude too.
She's cool. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's cool in the fan. She's cool in the fan, man. Most wives, he would have to go. You know what I'm saying? When you got your husband starting a gang war with teens, you would have to go.
Yeah, they take this shit so seriously. It's so hilarious. It's like, no, I've got to stop Cobra Kai at all costs. In real life, you're like, man,
where are the parents?
Where are the parents would be like, fam, it's a dojo. Chill out. People don't even go to dojos like that no more. You know? If he was to open up an MMA gym, we did have a Johnny versus MMA fight.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that too.
Yeah, that was in the first 3 episodes, was it? Because it was Mexico.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was. The MMA dude should have broke Johnny up. You know what I'm saying? Like those videos you used to show me at work. What's that dude's name? The dude that beats up all the MMA guys, beats up all the masters.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's a martial art MMA guy in China who will be the first person to tell you he's not that great. He's 40 years old, started learning MMA a little bit late, although he'd been in martial arts. But in China, you got these dudes that claim to be masters, that claim they have supernatural powers and take money from people. And he just got tired of listening to these dudes. And so he goes around, challenges them, and beats them up. He's gotten sued. And China does not like that. China does not like people bringing these Western martial arts and challenging their Eastern martial arts. And he goes around embarrassing them. And so he's gotten in some shit for that, some hot water. He's out of it now, but it definitely cost him a little bit doing that. But yeah, he still hasn't backed off from what I understand.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Johnny beats the dude up, but I like the announcer, like, this dude knows he's a karate guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, spin kick, and all this other stuff, and then he ends up beating him. I'm like,
he does beat him up, but he does cheat to beat him up. Remember, he gets that pepper and runs in his eye.
Robbie throws the pepper to him. Yeah. That's the cheesiness that I talk about with Cobra Kai. It's something like that always happens. Like, but Johnny's just such an idiot, bro, that it just it just doesn't make sense. Like when that dude was about to tow his car. It's like,
De Niro's. I'll give you De Niro's.
He's like, no De Niro, toe zone. He's like, this dude, he's just an idiot, man.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the gist of the first arc is the Mexico with Johnny. Oh, and then Johnny gets Miguel, and Miguel cries, and Robbie looks over, and Robbie didn't seem too upset about that, so that was pretty cool. Robbie didn't throw a little, like daddy issue feelings. So he's pretty cool with that. And then you have the Chosen and Ralph Macchio. We meet Mark Barnes within the first 3 episodes. It was real early, and then to try to take down your boy, what's his name,
Terry
Silver, and Chosen. That was a funny scene where Chosen's in the car just waiting. It's like Scarface. If Scarface had a boy like Chosen, his boy wouldn't have got chopped up with the chainsaw. You know what I'm saying? Because Chosen, at the specific time, he hopped in there, started fighting Mike Barnes, and they're like, yo, man, it's a misunderstanding. Like everything is, and Cobra Kai is the biggest thing. Everything's misunderstandings. He's like, oh, well, I guess we need to call an ambulance.
Chosen's ride or die, for real. Chosen went from being the guy that tried to kill Daniel. He legit tried to kill this homeboy in Karate Kid 2, And, now he ride or die,
Yeah. He bought that couch and those dudes he beat up, he got them carrying the couch, you know what I'm saying? He's like, don't drop it, it's expensive. This show's ridiculous, man.
To show how sick and twisted Terry Silver is. Now, Terry Silver does warn Daniel, by the way. Terry Silver gives Daniel an out. Okay. He says, listen, I won the tournament. You seem to be not taking it well. You're trying to make some moves. I'm going to tell you right now this is going to end well for you. So what I'm willing to do, we stop it right here. Stop it right here. and we just go our separate ways. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. Daniel doesn't listen. He goes and finds Mike Barnes, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens to poor Mike Barnes? Terry Silver finds out. Mike Barnes gives us this big story about, hey, man, Daniel, I'm so sorry. All the things I did to you, I terrorized you. I was such a bad dude. I'm so glad you're here so I can apologize to you. Yeah. And he's like, and Daniel's like, oh, yeah, man, what you doing? He's like, listen, man, I found out how to build stuff with my hands. Now I own a furniture store that was owned by my father-in-law. Life is good. That furniture store is now gone because Terry Silver burns it to the ground because Mike Barnes gives Daniel the name of a lawyer that worked with Terry Silver. And Daniel calls that lawyer.
Obviously still does work with Terry Silver. Terry Silver found out immediately.
Yeah, walks in that sauna. Now, how this dude always knows where Daniel is. Daniel can't even be naked in a sauna without Terry Silver knowing.
Well, and it was funny because they're at the country club, and Danny said he only joined the country club to mess with Terry Silver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Terry Silver's like, nah, it doesn't work like that. I told you, leave me alone. I'm gonna handle my friend first, and then I'm taking care of you.
Yeah, burned down his furniture store. Poor Matt Barnes, man. I felt so bad for that dude. I was like, this dude came in here for a bully, tried to be reformed. He's apologizing. Now his life gets ruined.
All right, so that's pretty much the first act. Now the second act, I got a lot of Star Wars vibes, and Star Wars in the '80s. You know, that's when.
Dude, hey, because Admiral Akbar would have fit right in, because Terry Silver kept putting these dudes in some traps. We need Akbar in there to like screaming, "It's a trap!"
Stingray brought up Admiral Akbar in this series too.
Yeah, you're right, he did.
Betrayed. Yeah, it's so funny. But we had it. We come back. Robbie and Miguel for some reason aren't cool, which makes no sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
No, Miguel gets almost paralyzed. Miguel.
Yeah, but still enough.
He broke his back like Bane broke Batman's back.
Miguel gets. You know what I'm saying? He gets friend zoned by Sam. You know what I'm saying? Robbie friend zones Tori because she won't leave Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? Kenny is telling Robbie, like, look, man, I used to get picked on. I'm a boss now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too late, son.
That kid's a good actor. That kid is a good actor.
He plays that role good. He plays that role really good, too.
Well, he switched because when we first saw him, he was scared of his own shadow. And
he was a nerd. He was dancing and getting made fun of and stuff like that.
He was real timid. Whenever somebody bowed up to him, he would back off. Like, you almost felt like he had trauma, you know? From physical altercations. And now when he gets that mean look on his face, he looks kind of menacing, right?
Yeah. You got Lapusso.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I forgot that he paid that dude to do the wax on, wax off. It's so funny that they brought that back into this season too. I forgot all about that. He's still getting beat up by Kenny. Kenny's torturing him now with my man Kyler. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to him in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And Tori's running things for Cobra Kai right now. And you got Hawk, he's good with his girl. Dimitri, he's good with his girl. So, and they've been pushed. They're peripheral characters now. And they started that last season, but they're true peripheral characters now. They don't have as big as a role as they did in the first 3 seasons. What's your thoughts on, them pushing it back and pushing the main Karate Kid people to the forefront again?
I'm mixed because I loved Old Hawk.
Yeah.
I thought Old Hawk was a standout of the show.
I like Hawk until
he was Johnny 2.0 for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they never really gave him that shine to where he could really beat someone up. That's why I told you season 4 I had a problem with him beating Robbie, because this is like Miguel used to toss him around like he was nothing. And
from that perspective, but from his attitude, like you can tell Johnny really rubbed off on him, and he did his best to try to be like Johnny. So from that standpoint, he was Johnny 2.0. Yeah. Well, this Robbie is like he's more complete version of himself. Yeah.
Robbie's the only G of them all to me. You know what I'm saying? Because Robbie will roll up to anywhere. By himself, you know what I'm saying? Robbie done been through some things. He's the only one who's not scared. He was in jail by himself, held his own. He lived by himself, held his own. He was against the criminals, held his own. Went to Cobra Kai, held his own. Went to Miyagi-Do, held his own. Robbie's the only one to me that really, really, really holds his own in the show as far as the kids go. But go ahead.
Yeah, and he does some growing up in this season. He says at the end, he makes that speech, but hey, man, that's how life goes. You win some, you lose some, unless you're Randall. Which once again we'll talk about a little bit, but man. So the rest of the crew, man. I mean, I always thought Robbie was a standout, and so the rest of the crew, of them getting more in the background, they were always kind of background characters to me. Anyway, I can't think of any besides Robbie that were really got a lot of shine.
Oh no, I think Hawk and Dimitri the first 2 seasons got a lot of shine.
I mean, that's what I meant. Hawk. I said Robbie. I meant Hawk. Yeah. Dimitri. Yeah. Dimitri's definitely been pushed to the background. He did have the dork scene.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious when he came to that house. He was doing that song, and then Johnny was like, "Hey man," he started talking to him. He said, "No, I didn't tell you to stop working." He's opening the beer. He gave him that crack phone. Oh yeah. Another thing that was funny was when he was doing when Johnny was doing his old Grubhub or DoorDash thing.
Uber, yeah.
And then that dude said, "Hey man, have a taquito. It'll make you feel better." He's already had one, and I don't feel better.
Dropping off
dude
food
just throws it away.
Can you imagine ordering food from Uber Eats and Johnny Lawrence is the guy dropping it off?
That would be a nightmare, man. That would be a nightmare.
My food's 2 hours late. Car smell like beer. That's because there is beer in here, asshole.
She said, "I can't eat this cold." He said, "Yes, you can. I do it all the time." Johnny's a fool, boy. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So Johnny, he's pretty much out the game because him and Miguel's mom, fine ass mom, I must say, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Him and Miguel's fine mom. They are conceiving a child, or they have a child on the way. And Johnny needs to step his game up. And I like how his baby mama comes in the house. Yeah, I said baby mama. She came in the house and she's looking around. She's like, "Oh, because women, they know things about you don't know." She's like, "She's pregnant, isn't she?" So she knocked her up. She knew immediately. Like it took her like 2 minutes to figure that out. And and he had to go to the internet, and try to get things going. And
he goggled some shit, as he calls it.
Yeah, he's so stupid, bro.
He reminds me of V-Dub. And
that's V-Dub's favorite character, so they have a lot in common. So maybe V-Dub sees a lot of Johnny Lawrence in them. And his next big obstacle is to get Robbie and Miguel on the same page, so he can say, "Hey, we're about to be a family," because I'm having they literally are about to be a family. Mm-hmm. So he wants to get them together, and then those two, they get into it at the pool because Robbie still got Kenny's back. Kenny's being a bully, but as soon as Hawk messes with Kenny, Robbie, Robbie tosses he tossed Hawk in the water, didn't he? And then Miguel rolls up. Yeah. Then Miguel rolls up.
Robbie did show up originally to try to talk some sense into Kenny.
Yeah. That was the whole point. Yeah. But he still he still ain't trying to deal with it because he knows it's gonna be hard to get Kenny out of that situation. But I like how they did Kenny's character. Kenny's like, "Look, man, I came to you. You put me into this, and now, I'm running things. I don't feel scared anymore. I'm confident now. So what are you gonna do?" Same thing with Hawk. Same thing with Miguel. All of them.
I thought Kenny did a really good job as martial arts scene. You could tell the actor that plays Robbie is a really good athlete. Yeah. And you can also tell the same with Kenny's actor.
Yeah.
That they're really good athletes, and you can see that during the martial arts scene. So
I like how Tori. Well, before I get to Tori, I like how Hawk was like, "You don't want to fight, do you?" And then the Kenny dude looks around. You're right. He is a good actor. He looks around at everybody. He's like, "Yeah, I do." You know what I'm saying? Like, you want no punk, but I like how Tori came in there and calmed that whole thing down.
Yeah.
That's because they cheated. They did that race down the slide, and Kenny poked a hole in his hand.
Yeah, but I mean, water parks. I don't know if did I ever race people down the slide? I was always a little bit bigger kid, so I was gonna lose. And I was having more weight on me.
Cameras and movie magic, they can do a lot of things. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they made it exciting, and they had the cuts from each person act like they actually had control over who's going to get down there faster. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I used to love Wet n Wild.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Water parks.
Keeping a buck, I loved Wet n Wild. Now I can't think of anything grosser. Kids be peeing that shit all the time, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But kids, adults, everyone. They need to, that show Pete and Pete. They need to have that when they pee in the pool, that dye comes out to expose them.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
Get embarrassed. So they get embarrassed. But
that's a public pool. That's a real thing, by the way. My old public pool in Plano used to be a place called Jack Carter Pool. It was just a pool. They have rebuilt that shit. They got all sorts of slides and that shit now.
Yeah, no, it's everywhere, dog.
It's like a mini water park. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shit when we were kids,
one
man.
of our coworkers, I went out with one of our coworkers, their name, but her daughter, we went to a water park a couple years ago, and we went to somewhere like in the McKinney area, and it was one of the craziest water parks I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying?
It's a public pool, but it's a water park. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it pretty much was Wet n Wild there. I was like, I would love this as a kid. By V-Dub's house, don't they have a water park right outside of V-Dub's house?
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let him in the pool.
Talking about peeing in the pool.
Yeah. You know, after that the VSOP gets into him, that cognac. But yeah, and then you got Johnny coming up to the pool, and he's trying to get these two cool, and they're already fighting each other and getting into it. And he's
I laughed when the lifeguard showed up and kept breaking up the fights.
He just kicked everyone out. He was the most responsible person out of the whole show when it came to these kids.
In the history of Cobra Kai.
Yeah. No one stopped them. They fought like the bowling alley. No one stopped them. They fought in the school. One teacher tried to stop. Another teacher quit. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids can fight anywhere. But you can't fight at the pool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not.
He wasn't having it.
It's not going down. And then what else happened? Oh, and then you had Terry Silver beat up Stingray. So you find out that Kreese and Tori are working together. So we find that out first. She sent a note saying that he lied and everything. He's in prison trying to play the role. And that lady's like, look, dude, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was pretty cool how they were intercutting his past. I think they kind of elevated season 3 a little bit more to me with the scenes that they did where they were using the younger guy who played Kreese in the background. So yeah.
Yeah, I did like how the court psychiatrist, because they do. I mean, my cousin's a psych, and he does forensic psychiatry, so he deals with people that are in prisons, and they can see through that. They've been lied to plenty of times, They know exactly how that looks. Yeah. So she calls him out right away. She's like, "You think this is my first day on the job, Holmes? Get out of here, man! I saw right through your ass." And
they're all making fun of him, Sensei. They're all making the jokes and everything, and then.
You knew eventually he was going to be done. What do you think about them bringing back the actor that played young Kreese?
That's what I was talking about. I like that. I like how they did that because he's too old to be doing those action sequences like that.
Yeah.
And
but he's done some fight scenes, right? He did some fight scenes with Johnny.
But this seemed like it was a lot more taxing. You know what I'm saying? But I like how it brought out the young one with it, and then and then afterwards when he holds him up, he said, "From now on, you're gonna give me your Jello cup." Yeah. And the dude was like, "Yes," and then he dropped it down. He dropped the Kreese smile down. I just fell out laughing. I laugh every time he does that. I don't know why it makes me laugh so hard, but every time he does the evil Kreese smile, I just bust out laughing because it's just so ridiculous, bro. It's so ridiculous. And
what? Yes, Sensei.
Yeah. Then he smiles. Yeah. And then they find out the Stingray. They go to Stingray. And they break his PS4, those bastards, man. You know what I'm saying? He's just living his life. He's living his life, driving around Johnny's car, you know what I'm saying? Got him a nice little player crib with a Cobra shag carpet, and you know what I'm saying? A nice, 5,000 foot square apartment, you know what I'm saying? He's living it up. And they come in there, it's like, I know you hate Kevin Smith, but it's like Kevin Smith said about Darth Vader. Bust up in his crib, you know what I'm saying? He's down, he's just living his life, man. And then they gotta come and ruin things. Break stuff, and try to get answers that don't need to be answered. So, it is what it is.
I mean, let's put it this way. He got a lot. But this dude almost killed him. I mean, let's be real. In real life, Stingray's like, okay, you want me to keep your secret, but if I tell your secret, you're going to prison. So, how about you give me a lot? How about you give me, like, a lot more than you give me? How about you set me up for retirement, Holmes? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Terry Silver pretty much said he was. Terry Silver said, "Hey, look, I'm giving you this. I'm giving you a car, and I'm giving you more." Terry Silver was going to let him do what he wanted to do, bro. He was living life, dog. So, hey, beat me up if I'm gonna get set up like that. You know what I'm saying? Beat me up. But what's funny is like when Ralph Macchio, he feels all because what happened? Did they go to the party first? Yeah, they did. Yeah. They went to the party first, and this is one of the funniest Terry Silver scenes of all time, bro. Because he just played the innocent role so good to his wife and everyone. He's like, "I'm gonna buy these bonsai trees," and everything he's doing is just to piss Danny off, and no one else sees what he's doing. They're all thinking he's this philanthropist, and he barely pushed him, but the way he fell down, he's like, "Oh, Danny, Danny pushed me hard." It was one of the funniest acting I've ever seen.
We've established in the show that Daniel LaRussa is a bit of a hothead, bro.
Yeah.
He was on worse than me. He always tripping, and he always get in trouble for tripping, and he always fucking over his wife when he tripping. That's why she got mad. So that's why Daniel's all busted up because the wife leaves him. He starts sipping on some scissor. He starts taking some drinks. Chosen comes over. It's like, "Yo, man, you can't be doing this. You can't be drawing your sorrows." And then they get that lead on Stingray, which we find out later is from Tori through Kreese, right? Yeah. And that's when they go to confront Stingray.
Yeah.
You know?
and then he goes back. He breaks his PlayStation, feels bad, goes back, and then you get the Star Wars moment because they had the music that reminded me of Duel of the Fates, where it's kind of like Luke getting beat up by Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? And Terry Silver beats him down pretty bad.
Yeah, but then just like Star Wars, Luke would get his vengeance. But we'll talk about that later.
yeah. Whatever. So, anyways, that's inside what I was trying to do. He's pulling a Terry Silver right now and trying to get under my skin, you know what I'm saying, without people knowing it. So,
I am the Terry Silver of this show, am I not?
You might as well be. So what else happens? So Terry Silver brings in all these senseis from the global. So this dude hires global senseis or dojos.
Yeah, we get a femme fatale. Yo, listen, you can't be a martial arts show without femme fatale, dog.
Oh,
we get a femme fatale.
This dude went global with it. But anyways, he brings in all these masters from all over the world. Tyrone Woodley of the UFC star is one. I was like, is that Tyrone Woodley?
Yeah.
But he's one of them, and they come in and they're gonna train the Cobra Kai kids.
Yeah. And they go old school East style with their training. They beat these kids down. Listen, you ain't getting away with that shit in America. Once again, where are the parents? Because if you train kids like that for real, those parents will all be up in there.
Where are the parents, bro?
Yeah.
And then so they take over all these dojos. They go to Topanga Dojo.
Yeah. How do you like that reference?
Yeah. They go to Topanga Dojo, take over the dojo, and what's the girl's name?
Our raven-haired girl.
Yeah, can't think of her name.
I think it's Danielle. Is that right?
It may be Danielle. We'll call her Danielle. We're wrong. Y'all can let us know. But Danielle, she and that's who I think is gonna have another career. She just has a natural charisma. It's almost like she comes off as an overachiever. That's the role that they wrote, but I can just see it. You know what I'm saying? I think she's going to be able to play a variety of different roles, whether it's horror, comedy, romance. You know what I'm saying? I can see her going in a lot of different directions just based off of this show.
I can see it. It almost feels like they liked her enough last season to where they're like, we're going to put her in some more this season.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. And she seems like she's naturally a martial artist compared to the other two girls too.
Yeah, for sure.
So she probably does it for real. And then she gets beat down by Tori, of course, and then she joins Cobra Kai.
But they're developing a bond because Tori got nobody. She's basically Donnie Brasco. You know?
Yeah.
She's behind enemy lines. She's just trying to gather information. She don't even want to be there. If she had her way, she wanted to leave. Kreese was like, "No, you gotta stay."
Yeah, and she wanted that, and she didn't want the girl to be there. She thought the girl was too good to be there, but she, saying the girl is like, "Hey, you beat me down. I need to learn from who beat me down so I can get on your level."
Right.
And you take it from there, and then you get the infamous, the big bad girl, the leader scene, like who's the leader and follower, and which is some of the funniest moments of the show to me.
She was great though. Our femme fatale was great.
Oh yeah, I liked her. I liked her too. And then you had Tyrone Woodley fighting my man Kenny and Kyler. And Kyler, boy, this is what made Kyler shine. Kyler's like, you gotta protect your king, man.
Yeah. What's that line about the spear?
He said, you must be the tip of my spear, man. They get beat down. Hey, it's just the way Kyler says things is so ridiculous, man. He's so over the top in every single line that he delivers. But it works for me because it's just so ridiculous, man. So I think he's an unsung hero of the series. And I know the only reason they keep bringing this character back, because there's a lot of characters they can't, is because the dude is just so funny, man. I bet you they're just dying when they're filming this stuff. It's just so ridiculous, man. It's just so ridiculous. He's so good at playing a jerk.
What makes it better is all of us knew Kyler in high school.
Yeah.
Or even in my 20s. I got one homeboy I know for sure reminds me of Kyler. Dude always going around starting fights and then coming up to us. Be like, yo, man, these guys want to mess with us. Let's go fight. It's like, yo, homeboy, I'm pretty sure they didn't do shit. I'm pretty sure you started this shit. Why are you trying to drag us into it every single time?
I was a Kyler. I'm Kyler and Kenny mix, man. You know what I'm saying? I was straight up a Kyler. Oh, what? What'd you say to me? What? All right, I'll be back. Go run to my brothers. Hey, man. Hey, I don't know what happened, bro. I'm just minding my business. They start picking on me. We gotta get them, So I've seen that before, man. But this is not only that, just his accent, just everything about him is so ridiculous. It's just so over the top, man. But I think he's an unsung hero. I like him a lot in the show, and even Hawk later on says, "Dude, you've been beat up by every single person on this show."
Yeah. Everybody that you picked on is beating you up, and Dimitri's like, I didn't beat him up, and he's like, you will, and you know what? Dimitri eventually beats him up. You know,
yeah, even Kenny put that work in on him.
Yeah, go back to everybody knows a Kyler, man. It's like I wasn't either a Kyler or a Kenny, which is why I was the one guy that could look at the situation and be like, yo, why are we fighting for this dude? Let me hold up and see what's really going on. Because I guarantee you ain't like you said. You know, because I ain't trying to get messed up over some bullshit. You know, so
not at all, not at all. So Ralph Macchio, he came to Johnny when he was drunk, like, yo, man, we got to do this and that, and Johnny's like, look at you, man, he's the adult, and he's like, no, I'm not helping you. I got bigger things. I got a kid on the way.
So what happens is Ralph Macchio comes up all keyed up. Daniel LaRusso comes up to Johnny's place all keyed up. He's like, Johnny, you got to help me. Johnny doesn't want to help him, and Daniel starts pushing his buttons, calling him a pussy. And normally, this is about the time where Johnny would explode. But now, Johnny is about to be expecting Dad. He's cleaned up his apartment. He's sprayed pesticides in his apartment, got rid of all the roaches that were rummaging around his couch.
Supposedly.
Yeah, made it look like a functional adult lived there, like his baby mama said. Like, hey, what's going on? This looks like a functional adult's living here. And so, instead of getting mad and coming to blows, Johnny says, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And starts talking to Daniel. And they have a real moment where for the first time they truly bond. Even when they worked together.
They've bonded plenty of times in the show. First they bonded over Allie.
But it was always tenuous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was always very tenuous. It was on shaky ground. This time it feels like it's solidified. That foundation solidified for the first time. They're like, all right, we are friends now. And that's when, he lets Daniel know that he's about to be a dad, and Daniel finally comes to his senses thanks to the pep talk from Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Johnny's like, because Daniel says, hey, we should have just fought with no time limit, and all that could have been ended then. And then Johnny's like, okay, Miguel, you and Ralph come over. Well, you and I said Ralph. I think Danny there. You and Robbie come over, and you two can go ahead and box and just get it out your system, which people do in real life. Saying? So that's true. And they fought, and Miguel got the upper hand and could have kicked him over the railing, and he decided not to. And then then they had the corny like, hey man, I'm sorry, that was the worst day of my life, and all this stuff, which is probably real, but the acting's just so bad in that scene. But it's so corny, I didn't care. But I like that they finally became cool.
Yeah, you were kind of hyped that they finally came back together. I got a little hyped. I was like, yes, finally, like these guys are friends, right?
Yeah.
Because we know what they end up finding out at the end, that the reason Johnny was doing all that is because they're about to be a real family.
And they were cool with it, Yeah. And I thought Miguel was going to get mad, so I really like how they made it to where they both were happy about that, man. Instead of it being one of those another issue, because that's what this whole show is about: miscommunication and issues, and simple misunderstandings. But with that right there, they both were excited. So I like that the show skipped all that drama and let them all enjoy the fact that he's about to have a kid. But of course, as soon as he goes to the hospital, he gets in the elevator. And then your boy Kreese comes. No, that's later on.
You're jumping way ahead.
That's later on.
Because where Daniel goes, this is when he goes back to Stingray and try to
he gets beat down. That's Star Wars.
Yeah, with the real PlayStation, that's when he gets beat down, right?
And he gets broken. I love when he wakes up in the morning and you got before that. So the wife leaves Danny. That's another thing that we didn't talk about.
Oh yeah, we find out how she met. We find out how she's connected.
Yeah, from the girl from Karate Kid 3.
Which I didn't recognize her at first.
It was
to be honest, that movie completely went out of my brain.
Yeah. So Danny's girlfriend in Karate Kid 3 somehow hooked her up with his wife. I'm still confused about that, but it happened. So they had to find a way to bring her back. Now Hilary Swank, the girlfriend of Hilary Swank was the next Karate Kid, so it wouldn't be her. But the girlfriend of Danny at that time, because Elizabeth Shue, she was they're out her budget. She was doing Adventures in Babysitting, and she was a star at that moment. But they go back home and they call her. She goes to her bar. She brings her son and daughter with her, and then she gets picked on.
A cheesy scene.
But that girl who was playing the bully was hilarious, though.
Yeah,
man, what I'm saying, she has some pretty good one-liners, and Sam got to put the
Babe
foot on
Ruthless.
Yeah, Babe Ruthless. Yeah, it's so funny.
Which sounds like an awesome name for a rapper, a female rapper.
Babe Ruthless. Yeah, it for a white rapper, but Sam put them hands on them, what I'm saying, and helped her mom out, and then they got out of there. And old girl gave the backstory on like, hey, Terry Silver is evil. I still have nightmares over the stuff that Terry Silver did. So.
I thought they could have done that scene a little bit better. Now, I understand they were pressed for time and they had to go over the Cliff Notes version. But it did seem like she just kind of rushed over. Like she could have gone some more graphic detail to really kind of hammer it home. But once again, that's nitpicking, because you don't have time to do all that.
I mean, they hammered it home because they gave us the flashbacks with the movie,
for us,
so,
right?
Yeah.
But the conversation for the wife.
Same point though. So good God.
Man, like I said, nitpicking.
30-minute episodes. So, anyways, what happened after that?
Man, we call it like we see it.
It's very V-dubbish, bro. It's very V-dubbish.
Yeah, man. Once again, riding for some white girls in the scene.
Oh my God! Ain't no riding for no white girl. anyways. Right. So,
okay, so we get she goes back to Daniel and she goes back to see her man has gotten beat down. He's broken, man. He's broken after that beat down.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wants out. But like he goes to Terry Silver when they see each other, he's like, "Yeah, listen, man, I'm done. You win." And Terry Silver's like, "No, motherfucker. This is not the way this goes. I told you. I warned you. I told you it was going to happen, son.
Yeah.
And now you open up Pandora's box. And so guess what? It ain't over till I say it's over."
Then they get the Star Wars beat down that I was talking about earlier. This is the scene.
No. This is after that beat down because remember, Terry Silver sees him again in the elevator in the hospital.
Yeah, the elevator in the hospital is Johnny. That's Johnny.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but he does see him again after that. He sees Daniel after that at the car dealership. He's at the car dealership, I believe.
Yeah.
He's in a suit and tie. He sees Terry Silver again, and he's like, "Listen, Terry, it's over. You win. I'm out. I want out." And
no, that was at the house. That was at Stingray's house.
No, that was was it?
Yeah, the Stingray's. He had the PlayStation. Yeah, and Terry's like, "Nah, you ain't out, homie," and he beats him down.
Okay,
and then,
you're right.
They wake up. He wakes up in the morning, and Chosen and Johnny are there, and then he's, "I'm going to work," and I love when Chosen's like, "No, we have to make plans." You know what I'm saying? And the wife's there. They're all conspiring to get back. Call the cops, man. You know what I'm saying? But they don't think about any of that stuff. So so they're all,
it's karate wars, son.
Yeah. The streets, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got to handle the streets. He goes to work, and and then what happens after that? What brings him back into the fray?
Wow, I don't remember. We do get Johnny and Silver confronting each other in the hospital.
No, I know. No. So this is what happens. So the daughter, they're at the table, and the daughter's like, "Hey, I thought I was gonna quit, but I shouldn't have quit. You know what I'm saying? I understand this is what we got to do." So when Danny comes home, they take her to Mr. Miyagi's room. The wife does, and she gives a background like Mr. Miyagi was talking about how he loved her and everything. And then he opens up the door to the back. He's like, "We're all here for you." And then that's when they have Chosen, Johnny, and all the kids out there. And then they start training again.
That's right.
And then they go see Kreese. And then, this is a scene I didn't really like how they played my man Kreese. I mean, it was good for the audience, but it's just like, it kind of goes against everything you guys have been talking about. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Kreese let them go. That is, what is it, the Soka, whatever you said it's called?
Yeah.
The
Sekai Takai?
Takai? Yeah, so
Sekai Takai.
And they give him the note and lie to him, and
so they go see Kreese in prison, and they try to get some information from Kreese, and Kreese doesn't want to give it up. He's like, "I hate you fools." He's like, "Johnny, I'll give it to you. You come back to me, and we can squad up. You can be my boy again." And Johnny's like, "Nah, get out of here, old man.
Yeah,
I don't want anything to do with you. This is Daniel's idea." So Daniel outplays Kreese for the first time. Kreese gets kind of played, and he says, "Listen, man, I got to name my lawyer. He'll get you out of here. Promise." And Kreese is like, "You promise?" And he's like, "Yeah." Puts down the number, says, "I'm going to give it to you, but tell me what you know about Silver." So Terry tells them the story about how they were training in Korea with this master that Terry hooked up with, which is the father of our femme fatale, and that he had his eye on this world martial arts tournament. He wanted to use that to take Cobra Kai global, and he thinks that's where Kreese's next play is. And then Danny hands him the number, and he opens up and it says, "No mercy, motherfucker." And they
and one thing in that background, that there's two things, there's seeds that were planted in that. So when she first comes, the femme fatale, she said, "Where's Kreese?" And he's like, "Oh, you got in legal trouble." She's like, "That's disappointing." So you can tell they have a relationship. And in the flashback, it shows a young Kreese having a relationship with the little girl, where he was winking at her and stuff like that. So that's who he's going to link up with when he gets out of jail.
She breaks a vase and he covers for her. Yeah, and that's why he winks at her. Not because of anything Game of Thrones, people. Just
None of that.
Yeah.
So they break into Cobra Kai, and Johnny.
Well, no, you're missing something. So they decide how are they going to get back at Kreese. They know Kreese wants in this tournament, So when the administrators,
Terry Silver.
Taylor Silver, yeah, I'm sorry, was in the tournament. So when the administrators from the Sekai Taikai come to look at Cobra Kai to see if
we're missing something. We're missing something. So Chosen and Johnny go to confront them first. Terry Silver first.
Oh, yeah.
They make a big point to say that two of them can barely beat one of those masters.
Yeah, one of the new masters from Korea.
They end up leaving. So yeah, now and then they go and confront them when they're doing.
And they didn't even really beat him. They were able to get away from him. Honestly, they didn't really. Beat him down.
They pretty much beat him down. But then the lady came out and all the other masters came out and Chosen was like, "Yo, we can't beat all of them."
Yeah. So they right when the administrators come to see if Cobra Kai meets the standards of the Sekai Taikai, the Eagle Fang / Miyagi-Do disciples show up and basically bust in the door. They say, "Hey, hold up! There's another competitor." It's like in Street Fighter when you're sitting there on the arcade, somebody puts in a quarter, another challenger has entered the arena, and they plead their case for the Sekai Taikai. And fortunately for one of them, the main guy, the German that's in charge, is a Rocky fan, so Johnny's able to get on his level. They talk about Rocky 5. They talk about training montage.
Well, no. They did that during the training montage. So they basically said they had champions too, and they were like, "We'll test both of them out." So they're doing the training montage.
Yeah.
Remember, Sam kicked that watermelon on her, and he's like, "Sometimes you just gotta run up the hill and you just gotta scream." And he's like, "Drago!"
Yep.
I love that movie.
Yeah. And so, of course, it winds up in a tie. Right? They milk it for some drama, but we all know that it's going to be a tie, and it ends up in a tie, and that's setting up obviously for the next season, right? But yeah, I thought that scene was pretty cool, and Terry Silver is now pissed. He's not happy, right? So he basically says, "Hey, they thought I wasn't playing before. I'm definitely not playing now. It's on." But there's another plan that was hatched. And what was that plan?
I don't know. What plan was that?
Tori and the kids, Dimitri.
No, that's way later. So what they do?
They go to meet Stingray, right? What's the kid's name that's friends with Stingray?
No, that's even later. That's later on. So what they have to do first is they have to have a fight, two fighters, a male versus male fight, and a female versus female fight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Kenny and Kenny's training and Tori's training. I mean, Kenny's training and Sam's training, and Terry Silver says, "Hey man, you know what I'm saying? You can hurt someone. You can punch someone to get a point, or you can take the wind out of them and hurt them." And he teaches them that punch. So Miguel and Robbie. Silver bullet. And Miguel and Robbie decide that Hawk is the champion. He should fight, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that anyways. And then you have Sam versus Tori again. And then they get there.
No, it wasn't Tori. It was Tori.
It was Sam versus Tori first.
Yeah, but Tori left.
Yeah, but I was going to get to that. Okay. Yeah. So Kenny and Robbie fight. No, Kenny and Robbie start talking before the fight. And Kenny's like, "Man, you know what? You're lucky you ain't in that ring with me today. You know, so I'm handling my business." And they say it too. They're just like, "Yeah, Kenny just came to us in less than a year, and he's our champion." I almost busted out laughing, like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Hawk tried to take it easy on Kenny. Kenny hit him. Hawk let the Hawk loose, and Kenny rocked him and put him out of commission.
Yeah, with that silver bullet, knocked his wind out. Of course, the fix was in though. Yeah. We already knew.
Oh, with the ref?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, the fix was in. They caught a ref again, and when Tori saw that, she disappeared. So, was it Allison or Danielle?
We'll go with Allison or Danielle, whichever one you want to go with.
Yeah. So the other chick that came to Eagle Fang last year, we'll say that is she fights Sam, and the ref's trying to cheat for her, and then Miguel, they all give her the speech.
Was it Chosen? I thought it was Chosen that gave her the
speech. It was Chosen and Danny at first, and then Miguel comes up and says, "You're the better fighter. We believe in you." He's the one who gave her the big extra pep.
Yeah, but I think Chosen's the one that says, "Hey, listen, if the ref is trying to cheat, you just gotta make it to where he can't, like, make it the point so obvious he can't say anything," and that's what she does, right? She makes the points undeniable.
So she wins, and then the adults say, "Hey, you guys can go out tonight and party." Johnny's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the hospital. You guys can go party, you know what I'm saying, do your thing." And then we have another misunderstanding because Miguel finally hooks up with a chick, starts kissing the chick, and Sam walks in. Of course, at that time, we all knew that was going to happen. Like, this is so ridiculous. Then Tori comes and says...
But by the way, we didn't establish that Sam wanted to go on a break.
Yeah.
Right, so technically they're on a break, her and Miguel.
No, we said that. Sam friend-zoned them. As I said, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So Sam friend-zoned them, and he finally moves on when she wants to come back, and she gets all butthurt and goes outside crying. And then Tori sneaks up on her like, "Oh my God, you're the real champion!" And for some reason, she gets mad about that
because she's the worst.
And they start fighting and they break it up, and it's just ridiculous. But the cool part is Terry Silver walks in the elevator, and he's talking noise to him, but he's talking in riddles. And he's like, "How did you know she's pregnant?" He's like, "Oh, she's pregnant. Well, I didn't know that, but you know what I'm saying? Now I do. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I'm gonna put that into my my sliver, saying of arrows and stuff like that. So it is what it is."
One thing that kind of confused me at that. Well, I guess Johnny showed up with Daniel at the karate tournament. That's why he went after Johnny.
Did he? But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like Ralph Macchio was just like, he might have just been there for something else. He basically said, you never know with Terry Silver. You don't know what he was doing there. So, you know what I'm saying? It just may be one of those things. So I doubt it because you know what it is, but yeah.
Well, we're kind of dragging this along. Let's kind of get to the highlights here. Let's get to the end.
We're dragging it along. Shit, it's over with now. So they go out and party. They go out and party. Mike Barnes comes back, and then we have the final episode.
Yeah, we had them go talk to Stingray.
Yeah,
right.
It's over with now. Yeah,
Stingray's like, I give it all back. It's like, okay, I guess, right? Hey, listen, the guy that really beat me down is Terry Silver. And so they go on this mission to go try to look for the footage, and they try to break into Cobra Kai to look for the footage. But Terry Silver, always one step ahead. He's got that security system set up. But unfortunately for Terry, at that point, the boys are out celebrating Johnny's. As Daniel finds out that Johnny's, expecting, Johnny and his woman are expecting after the Terry Silver incident, because they have to kind of come clean. And so they all go out to celebrate. They all go out to party. The boys decide they want to continue the party on, so they get in a limo. They get jacked by our boy Mike Barnes, who wants to beat up Daniel. Because Daniel ruined his life because his place burned down. But they're all so drunk that once the misunderstanding simmers down, three of them decide, fuck it, let's go get Terry Silver. So they go crashing his gate down to pick a fight with Terry Silver and his goons, right? Yeah. Well, Daniel doesn't want that. Daniel's saying, hey, you guys are crazy, we're drunk, calm down, settle down. Daniel's being like me in the situation, and much like me, his homeboys don't listen. Usually I got drug along on these things. Daniel was smart enough. Daniel just got ditched on the side of the road.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, and this is where the show took a left turn for me. And then they go there, they have the big fight, where Mike Barnes disappears for 10 minutes, and
he gets knocked out. He gets knocked out, right? He gets knocked out.
He gets knocked out and thrown in a room. And then it's Johnny and Chosen versus all the masters, and all of a sudden Johnny, who Chosen could barely beat up one master with Danny, handles like 5 masters. Johnny goes outside. Chosen goes outside and fights Terry Silver, and he's handling Terry Silver.
You got Sais versus Samurai Sword.
Yeah. Then he gets slashed in the back, and
he gets slashed in the back because he gets distracted, right? He gets distracted. He has the upper hand.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro.
And it's over the top. It's like kind of like season 2 though. It's over the top, but like I had fun with it,
Yeah. And then the kids get in a big fight, and But like I said, this episode, I'll let you talk more about this. This is the episode I didn't like as much. They get in a big fight, and one thing I did like was Robbie and Kenny got into it. The femme fatale comes and starts beating up kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of callbacks. This episode has a lot of callbacks to earlier training montages with the kids. The teamwork montage. They're facing off against the instructor that was beating them down. Tori and Danielle.
Chosen protect
we got the take the egg. And they're all trying to. They basically the video of Terry and Stingray's a race, but they find another video that they are able to post and show the Cobra Kai kids. Opens their eyes and they see Terry's not all he's cracked up to be, and then Terry tries to kind of bring them back around. Says that he beat Daniel down, so Daniel has to has to reconquer that mountain. And much like Luke, when Luke beat down Vader in front of his boss, cut off his hand and beat him down in front of his boss, Terry Silver gets his ass kicked in public. He kicked Daniel's ass in private, but he got his ass kicked in public. And
after he fought Chosen, so it's really not fair. You know what I'm saying? But it is.
But Daniel was all fucked up too from I think a wreck or some shit, right? From being tossed out of limo, getting tossed around, getting stranded on the middle of the road.
It's not the same. This one wasn't a life or death. One just got beat down by Chosen. It was a life death situation. Daniel is whatever.
We did have some levity though when Daniel walks up to the dojo When he knows the kids are out because
Yeah,
Stingray comes and saves the day, right, in the Cobra Mobile.
Beats up some more kids.
Yeah.
Stingray beats up kids.
But the kids try to get his way, and they're like, "Yeah, you can fight us, old man." He's like, "I'm not fighting kids. I'm calling the cops." Okay. The first real situation we get where somebody gives a real response, like, "I'm not." Like if some kids try to fight me, I'm like, "Bitches, I'm just gonna call the cops. I'm 40 years old. You kids are going to jail. You know, I ain't trying to fight no kids. My old ass throw my back out." You know,
he beats up Terry Silver, and then Chosen comes out all bruised up, and he's turned out to be a simp who likes the girl who left him for the American boy in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? He's still in love with her. Like, come on, Chosen, you could do better than that.
Apparently not. This dude's 70 and he's still single.
Old boy torch. You're right about that.
That's a
old
torch.
Boy stole Mike. What's his name? You maybe forget his name now.
Mike Barnes.
Mike Barnes stole a Rembrandt. Like, good luck keep getting away with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Kenny, one thing I did like, Kenny, Robbie tried to talk to Kenny. Kenny's like, nah, now's not a good time. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll figure out how that goes. And Terry Silver gets arrested, and then Kreese broke out of jail. So it's like, I don't think they should have wrapped up the Terry Silver's plot line and sent him to jail. So I'm curious on how they would even be able to move forward.
Well, I think what next season is going to be? Best of the best. We're gonna have the Koreans in Best of the Best. It was North Koreans, but we're gonna have the Koreans with their crazy training come in and be the new Cobra Kai that's gonna take part in the Sekai Taikai.
Pop it, Tommy.
Yeah, and I bet you we get one of those moments. I bet you we get a Best of the Best callback like that. Eric Roberts' best movie.
I think it was no, it's not. It's not even close to his best movie. Eric Roberts is a star. Well, on his way to becoming a superstar before getting that car accident. He was in Runaway. He was in Runaway Train.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
right. No. He was in a lot of stuff, man. Like you got me thinking about it. He got in a car accident that messed up his face, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like a lot of other people. That's what ruined his whole career. But he put his sister on. But yeah, Eric Roberts is a G. Yeah. Don't stop hating, bro.
Oh, we're gonna have Best of the Best. That's gonna be the final season of Cobra Kai is Best of the Best, which I think I'll enjoy. Right?
Maybe that movie was so trash, bro. Yeah, I never liked that movie.
I mean, listen, I enjoy the season, but you can, like you said, you can definitely start seeing the treads. Like, if this show was going to keep going season after season after season, I'd probably be losing my patience. Knowing that there's only one more season allowed me to enjoy it for what it was, allowed me to enjoy looking to the next season. But yeah, it's if they try to extend another season, they're going to get real risky of it wearing out its welcome.
I mean, they can say we can say that, but the thing about the show is the episodes are so short. I'm never bored and I'm never not entertained. Even if it does go over the same, because they did a lot of things over and over, so they got a good formula to where I think they can stretch it out for a long time. Actually, as I say, it's like the Saved by the Bell. Until the characters, the only thing that can actually ruin the show is the characters aging out of the show, the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Johnny and Danny, you know what I'm saying, they can always, kind of rebrand them to other threats and stuff like that. Because we've already been established in a world where there are no cops, and obviously besides them, there are no other parents. So I know. Sholo
and Hawk were the youngest kids.
Yeah.
Sholo is, of course, Miguel.
Yeah.
And I remember in season 1, they were like 18, right? Yeah. So they're in their 20s now. So it's getting close. Mary Mouser's probably getting to mid-20s, if not a little bit older than mid-20s.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. You are definitely going to age the kids out if you keep going.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the only thing that can end it. But I give this show the glow as normal, man. I loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And besides that final episode, it would have been one of my favorite Cobra Kai episodes just because of how just ridiculous it was. But I can't wait to see what they do with the next one. What about you?
Yeah, I give it a glow. I can give it an 8.5, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the final episode because at that point I was ready for it to be over the top. But listen, it definitely had some holes in it for sure. So if you were looking for something of a little bit more substance, you probably were a little bit disappointed in that final show. But like at that point, I was looking for something over the top, and I got what I wanted. So yeah, man, good shit. Cobra Kai is good shit once again. Yeah. And listen, we've been almost on this live stream for 2 hours. We're probably gonna break it up when we post it later. But we want to thank anybody that tuned in, that's watching. We want you to comment at the bottom. Let us know what you thought about these two shows, which one you liked best, what you gave them. Does it have the glow for both of y'all? We want you to hit that subscribe button. We want you to hit that bell notification. As you can see, we're getting a little bit slicker with our presentation, and so I think we're ready to start kind of trying to get more eyeballs. So hopefully you've been with us from the beginning, and hopefully you get to grow with us. So, until next time, Peace.